Hey guys, welcome to Life Theory.
Today we're going to talk about the topic fear of humility.
Ooh, what a scary topic. Roll intro.
So I've had this topic idea for a little while, although I didn't originally think of it as a topic idea.
Uh-huh.
But I heard a song. I don't remember the song.
Yeah, we tried to look it up. We couldn't find it.
Yeah, I don't remember the song. I don't remember pretty much anything about the song. I heard the one phrase, fear of humility, and it's just been stuck in my head. And so we were deciding what to talk about tonight, and I was like, hey, this has been stuck in my head. So
Yeah, and it's really weird because we don't think of being scared of being humble.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we are. So I heard it and it kind of took me off guard. I was like, we have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I don't really understand.
Yeah.
But first, what are we drinking?
Well, tonight I decided to do tea.
Yes, we both have a bit of the sniffles still.
Also, like we do coffee a lot. We've done a lot of like lemonades.
Yeah.
We did water once. We did tea once.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do tea again.
And did we do hot chocolate?
Oh yeah, and eggnog. We did that twice.
Yeah, well, you gotta do eggnog twice. It's seasonal. It's only there for a limited time.
Yeah.
Make the most of it.
So this is a honey sweetened raspberry peach tea.
Oh, it's very good. It's subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's not a ton of honey in it, but it's just enough to bring out the flavor. Because sugar can be very similar to salt, where you put a little in, you put too much in, you just taste it. Yeah. You just taste the sugar, you just taste the salt. But you put just a little bit in, and it brings out whatever flavors in there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But enough food theory. That's a different channel that we will never overtake.
Yes.
Let's go on to life theory. Fear of humility. Weird. Okay. Like, first, we need to start with, like, what are we even talking about? What do you mean the fear of humility?
So,
I mean, to do that, we'd probably have to start with definitions in general.
Yeah. When we talk about humility, the first thought that comes to mind, if you say something like fear of humility, you're usually going to think of the opposite of humility, which is pride.
Yes.
Pride is the inordinate self-esteem, an unreasonable conceit of one's own superiority in talents, beauty, wealth, accomplishments, rank, or elevation in office, which manifests itself in lofty airs, distance, reserve, and often contempt of others.
Ooh.
Big definition, but I think we all kind of understand.
Yeah.
Pride.
Prideful person. The guy that thinks he's the best. Main character syndrome is a Gen Z term for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, so that's something that we all have.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the humility. It's like, okay, so what is this humility that we're afraid of? Humility. In ethics, freedom from pride and arrogance, humbleness of mind, a modest estimate of one's own worth. In theology, humility consists of lowliness of mind, a deep sense of one's own unworthiness in the sight of God, self-abasement, penitence for sin, and submission. Submission to the divine will. And for a quick reference, we've said this before, but our definitions come from Webster's 1828 dictionary.
Not to say it's the best, but it's one of the best.
Yeah, it's a very good dictionary.
It's a good dictionary, and seeing as it had a Christian author that pulled a lot from the Bible, a lot of the definitions that we're looking at that have to do with spiritual things are pulled directly from spiritual definitions.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the original English dictionaries.
I believe so. It's one of like the most complete original English dictionaries.
Yeah. That I don't know.
I think like sure. Webster and Cambridge are like two of like the biggest ones.
That makes sense. Anyway.
Yeah. So, okay. Inordinate self-esteem versus lowliness of mind. So, thinking your way up here versus thinking your way down here.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, lowliness of mind, but also
it's not putting yourself down.
Yeah, it's just here's where I'm at. It's not thinking I'm more than that.
It's an understanding of who you are in reality, rather than thinking of ourselves more highly than we ought to think.
Yes,
that would be pride.
Yeah. So kind of a good idea is like, okay, so what's a good analogy? What's a good
example?
Yeah, example.
Like an illustration. Like, okay, think about like if, let's say you work fast food and you're a shift leader. So when you're a shift leader, it's hard to get respect no matter what. Mm-hmm. And often you have to think in that situation, or like in a factory job, right? You're like, I need to act big. I need to act important. I need to act like the main character. You know, I have to puff myself up. Otherwise they won't, because no one else will. Because you want that people to follow you. You want people to respect you. Right? And in your own self, you think the only way to do that is to make myself big stuff.
Yeah. So essentially the idea of like, I gotta be something big, because if I'm too humble, I won't get respect.
Yeah. And I just thought of another example that might also resonate with people. I just got done doing stage performances. And in that, like, to get cast or to get respect from the cast, a lot of times you have to feel, you act like, actors will act like they're superior. Like they're big stuff to get noticed, right? Because if I don't get noticed, I don't get jobs. So I act like I'm big and tough and I'm the most amazing actor in the world. So that otherwise, I won't be respected. So.
Yeah, so.
That's one of the fears of being humble.
Yeah. And there's kind of that idea that the world's like, if you don't believe in yourself, then who will?
Yeah. That's actually preached as a positive thing.
Yeah.
Is believe in yourself. Believe in your own abilities. Don't be humble. Be proud of your abilities. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
Yeah. But that kind of brings to mind the example as a counter to that of Moses. Moses was known as one of the meekest men.
Yeah.
And which meek is just essentially another definition of humble.
It's a character trait. It's someone who shows and exudes humility.
Yeah. And he was put essentially in charge of over 1 million people.
That's crazy.
But we can see from his example that he stayed humble, and God was the one that judged.
That backed him up.
Yeah, that backed him up. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. And God backed him up and judged those people who didn't give the respect.
Yeah, like the children of Israel over and over would be like, why'd you lead us out? You just think that... And then he'd just go, God led us out. And then God would be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to do a miracle by Moses' hand to show everyone. Yeah, no, he's in charge.
Yeah.
And he's just like, by the way, here's fresh water. By the way, the sea is split in half. Yeah. Like, why are you doubting God over here? But he stayed humble the whole time. He didn't go, hey, look, I got you out. You're being ungrateful. Like, how dare you? You know, no. He stayed humble and God backed him up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just...
And there was, like, one really good example of that early on of Aaron and, what is it?
yeah, Aaron and their sister Miriam.
Yep.
And there's like, God doesn't only speak through you, Moses. We're your siblings, so we're as good as, or even better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they were both older than him, too.
Yes. So they're like, why are you leading it? Like, little brother, little bro, why are you leading us? Like,
Yeah. And God's like, Miriam gets leprosy. Like, the most incurable disease ever.
yeah. And, but it was interesting, his reaction. Because that was when it was written down that Moses was the meekest man on earth. And his reaction wasn't to get mad at them, wasn't to yell at them. His reaction was to pray.
Yeah.
He probably was hurt by it. He probably emotionally felt terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of taking that and turning it into pride and anger, he turned it into sorrow before God. And God dealt with it.
Yeah.
God, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord.
Yeah. And so just... Oh, hello, Maggie.
Hello.
Just that idea of if we continue in humility,
Mm-hmm.
God will reward that, essentially.
Exactly. And the big thing I saw that I don't see a lot in the world is Moses' worth came from God.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he didn't try to defend himself. He appealed to God.
Yeah. Pride often comes from a misplaced sense of worth. So when we have a misplaced sense of worth, we believe that our worth is in ourself or in, our own abilities and stuff, then that can cause, fear of humility, because if we're like,
For humble.
yeah, if we're humble and we're not believing in ourselves is what it feels like, well then now where's our worth?
Yeah.
That's the biggest mindset, I think, that people have to deal with.
Yeah. Because you think about it, like, if you follow the logic, right? If you're humble, then you might not get respect.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not respected, especially as a guy, like, that's how you get your worth.
Yeah.
And so it makes you feel unworthy because you're looking for respect and you're looking for worth horizontally.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for it in other people. You're looking for it in yourself. And people, and especially yourself, is going to let you down.
Yeah.
So that's why our worth should be in God.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only worth that makes sense.
Yeah, there's some verses that we have here that at first don't really seem like they fit, but there's an interesting...
They seem like they're talking about pride.
Yeah, there's an interesting way they correlate. So, hear this. Sorry. Hear this. That's just... Ecclesiastes 2, 24 through 26. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of God. For who can eat, or who else can hasten thereunto more than I? For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom, and knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail, to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before God. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So, would you like to explain how that fits in?
Well, because we were talking about it, and we'll get into this in a bit, but there is another generally accepted definition of pride. Now, this is not the way God uses it in the Bible. So I'll clarify that later. But I was thinking about this verse, right? I was like, well, hold up. This is talking about, like, soul should enjoy the good of his labor, right? And it's like, okay, I did this and I should enjoy it. So it says there's nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink and that he should make his soul enjoy the good of his labor. But then he qualifies it. This also I saw that it was from the hand of God. And he continues, for who can eat or else can hasten hereunto more than I. In other words, like, I can eat more than anyone else, but he was talking about in the past, like, everything else is vanity. So how can you have joy in something, you know? Because he's like, it sometimes it's not joyful. It says, because, and you have to remember this, for God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner being an unrepentant sinner, someone who is not following God, he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before God. And again, good positionally because of God.
Yeah.
This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. So if you're a sinner and you're trying to, enjoy the works of your labor, it's going to be vanity. Because you're just going to be like, it's going to be empty, and then you're going to get travail, and it's going to kind of suck. Life sucks, in a manner of speaking. But with God, there's purpose.
Yes.
And so we labor, and we can enjoy the things we do, and enjoy what we've accomplished. Excuse me. Knowing that it's all from the hand of God. He gave us the knowledge. He gave us the wisdom. He gave us the strength, the energy, the ability. He literally gave us breath.
Yeah. So like you were saying, that feels like on the verge of prideful.
Yeah.
And we're trying to... Yeah, so like how does this fit into the
Fear
idea
of
of the fear of humility?
Well, we have long notes. Let's keep going.
Yes.
Because there's another definition of pride. And one that I think a lot of people use, and then a lot of Christians get tripped up on because they're like, well, I'm not prideful, but I'm proud of this thing.
Yeah.
And Webster, thankfully, has that definition for a different way that pride is used. So,
Pride, third definition. Generous elation of heart, a noble self-esteem springing from consciousness of worth.
there you go.
Boom. So that's that idea that is often used as, like, that phrase, I'm proud of you. It's not, we don't usually mean that we have pride because of you, because that doesn't really make sense. But it's that idea that I have that generous elation of heart.
Yeah.
You make me happy.
Yeah, what you did or who you've become adds joy to my heart.
Yeah. So it's the word pride or proud is still used for that.
Yep.
Although in the Bible it's pride is not a good thing. And so it's
Yeah.
a different definition from the way the Bible uses it.
That's why in the Bible it uses a lot like pleased or I was happy. Was it like I was happy to see my children walk in truth? Or
I have no greater joy than to hear...
I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth.
But nobody's going to say that many words nowadays.
So, saying I'm proud with your walk, using that definition is that same thing.
Yeah.
So, if someone says they're proud, it doesn't... Sometimes this is just English is a fluid language, and we've kind of messed with the definition of proud.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think is good, depending on where your worth is.
Mm-hmm.
So that last part, it leaves it a little open-ended. So there's self-esteem, but not just self-esteem on its own. It's springing from a consciousness of worth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel worthy because of something you did, you feel happy about what you've done, about who you are. And so humility acknowledges our source of worth.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Which also makes us scared because it shows us that on our own, we're not worthy.
Mm-hmm.
So true humility shows that our worth can only come from God. That is the only esteem that is good.
Yeah.
Because self-worth
Excuse me.
is destructive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, self-worth it's getting close back to pride.
Well, yeah. Because at a certain point, if you think that you are worthy on your own, you are enough on your own, there it is. That's pride.
Yeah. So, mixing with that brings us to, maybe helps us realize that our need to be respected reflects us, reflects our desires. It doesn't reflect the people respecting you.
Yes.
You need to remember that. It's like, look.
Next time you feel like mad that people aren't respecting you.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Why? Just because you feel like you need to be respected doesn't mean that you do.
Exactly. But it's hard because being respected feels good.
Yep.
Makes you feel happy. But if respect is a problem for you, it means that your worth is coming from something other than God.
Mm-hmm.
If that is something that makes or breaks your attitude or makes or breaks your actions, right? You're like, I want to be humble, but I don't want to lose respect. It means that you're willing to lose the respect of God for the respect of man.
And an interesting thought when you said, excuse me, that phrase, I'm sure you intentionally put it there. I want to be humble, but then I'll lose the respect of others, brings around another viewpoint on this whole idea. Is maybe you're in kind of a friend group that is a more prideful, what's the word? Prideful thought pattern. Like
prideful
as a group, I can't remember the word.
Clique? Prideful culture? Prideful
culture, I think, is closer to the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, I know the word you're thinking of, and I can't think of it either.
But just everybody has that sense of pride, and you know that that's not where we should be. But in order to be humble, you would be rejected by these friends who have that general sense of pride.
Yeah.
As a in general.
Yeah, because like with guys groups and girls groups, it's the same idea where, like with girls, they use it positively. They use positive pride. With guys, they use negative pride.
Yeah.
So with girls, they use positive pride in puffing each other up, not always edifying, not always rebuking each other, but puffing each other up of, oh, you're so pretty, oh, you look so great, oh, you did so well, and there's like no criticism. It's just you have to say good things, right? And that's what you have to do because people's egos are so fragile. And it's funny because like guys will often mock that and criticize it, and guys engage in what you could call negative pride, which is pulling each other down to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
And so rather than puffing yourself up, it's pulling other people down. So you may be a little insecure. You want to make sure that people know that you haven't lost your edge. And so you start insulting your friends. You start putting your friends down. You start talking about how pathetic they are. And it makes you look better.
Yeah.
But both of those tendencies are a tendency to pride and a tendency away from humility.
And the Bible does have something specific to say about that.
Yeah.
Psalms chapter 1, verse number 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So just that idea of if you are, you're blessed when you don't follow the crowd. And so when the crowd around you is all pride and proudful is the big deal, and you'll be blessed to have that spirit of humility, to be humble
And to walk away from those friends. Which I understand can be hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might be the only friends you have, depending what situation you're in. And so it's a difficult thing to do. But the Bible's clear. You can't be in that way.
Yeah.
Because another thing, talking about good friendships, is it says, let every man esteem other better than himself. Which is, again, humility.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about how good I am or talking about how terrible you are, let's build each other up in good, godly ways. Not lying or fake, but actually building each other up in the Lord and preferring one another.
Yeah. So if your friends have the view that humility is weakness, being a meek person like Moses was is weakness, then that's an ungodly view.
Yeah, if they have a view that like you shouldn't be humble in things you do, they think you should try to hype yourself up, you should be the main character, you should put others down, If they have that view, then they have a view that yourself is more important than others and more important than God. And that clearly, if we look at the Bible, is just not true.
Yeah. So what can we do about this? How can we get rid of the fear of humility?
Yeah, in ourselves and in our friends.
Yeah.
I think there's kind of like three options. Like, what do you do for yourself? What do you do for your friend that will listen? And what do you do with your friends that won't listen? And I think there's answers for those. I think the first verse we have is for what do you do for a friend that can listen?
Yeah, so Galatians chapter 6, verse number 1 says, Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Yeah. So you be meek when you're pointing out someone's fault. Don't be prideful about it. Like, oh, I can't believe you do this. I can't believe you're acting this way. How dare
Yeah.
It's no. You call it the sin. You're not shy about it, but you have that meek and humble spirit of understanding and wanting them to get better, not just wanting to get back at them.
Yeah. And remember, meekness is essentially a different word for humility. And in the definition of humility, it's saying essentially having a correct estimate of your worth.
Yeah.
And if we correctly have or we correctly see our worth as through God, then we can know that through God we have the authority to be like, here's what the Bible says, and what you're doing is against what the Bible says. It's not, here's what I say, because I'm better than you, which is pride, and so my pride is, like, you shouldn't be prideful. And
yep, that's why he says, consider thyself.
Yeah.
Lest thou also be tempted.
Yes.
That's why sometimes you might not be in a spiritual condition to deal with someone else's sin. The Bible is very clear about that in Matthew 7.
Yeah.
Of having, a beam in your eye and a mote in someone else's eye. Like, if you can't see clearly, if you still have pride or anger or bitterness in your life that you can't see clearly to help someone with their sin, then you need to deal with your sin, and then you can help them with theirs.
Yeah. So it's, like I was saying, remember that our sense of worth has to be in God. And that if we have a perfect love, it says perfect. Oh, no, wait, that's in our next verse. On to the next verse.
Which is kind of how to deal with it in yourself.
1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
So the fear of humility, the perfect love casteth out fear.
Yeah, and something you were saying, which I found like, oh, that's a really good way of seeing it.
Yeah.
Is if we have perfect love of God, then we won't have the fear of humility. That perfect love casteth out the fear in our life. And then we can remember that our sense of worth is in God. It's not in ourselves.
Exactly. Because that fear of humility comes from our ego, from our not wanting to feel like less than. And so if we have a perfect view of God and perfect love for God, then humility isn't scary, because even if we're disrespected by others, that doesn't affect us, because what others think or others' opinions about us is not what's important. It's our standing and our relationship with God.
Yeah.
So, love, perfect love. And the love that only comes from reading his word, obeying his word, praying. Like that, that's the type of love that comes from a relationship. Not just a feeling.
Yeah. And that is how we help remove the fear of humility in ourselves.
Exactly. Like, if it's in yourself, it's that perfect love. If you have issues with your friends, then you can try to restore them. And if they're unwilling to be restored, then don't get in the way. Don't be in the way. Find people who want to build you up in the Lord, who don't want to just build themselves up in pride, and be that person.
Yeah.
All right.
This ended up a little longer than usual.
Well, so did the script. So I'm not surprised. We've been going long for a couple of our episodes.
A couple of them, yeah.
But I think it was a really interesting topic that we kind of drilled real deep into.
Yeah. So, let us know if you have any thoughts on the topic.
What's something what's something you found to help with humility?
Yeah.
Maybe a practical application, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't really do a practical application. More of a principle and a take home.
Yep. So let us know in the comments. Thank you for listening to our ramblings.
Yeah.
And hopefully this was a help to you. I know it definitely is gonna be in my mind for a while. Yet.
Yeah, same. It's gonna be very helpful because it helps. It's something guys struggle with a lot, because respect is huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually have a couple of collaborations coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A couple of guests possibly getting on.
The one didn't end up working out for this episode, but
obviously
maybe later.
No, I'm kidding. It's actually her. She's the expert.
Maggie.
Tell the people what you think. Yeah, no, she more prefers the written page over the spoken word.
Yeah. But yeah, we will see you next week, I guess.
Yeah. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
They come from the noggin. Anyway.